Hello, welcome to A Tribe Called Cars. My name is Ben Griffin and today we are doing part 2 of the fastest cars for Goliath, which if you're unfamiliar, it's a 24.6 mile circuit around the entire edge of the Horizon 4 world. It's a little bit reminiscent of the Nürburgring and even the Isle of Man TT, but anyway, it's a cool circuit, it's really challenging, takes about 8 to 10 minutes per lap, and you get decent credits and influence for completing it, even if you do 2 laps. So in part 1 we looked at the Maserati MC12 Forza Edition. This time it's the McLaren F1 GT, which is almost as expensive. It costs 5.2 million. You don't have to unlock it and you don't need skill points to do that. It's just one you buy in the garage. Now there's no engine upgrade for this car, which means it's pretty easy to get to its max horsepower amount. You can however choose between rear wheel drive and all wheel drive. The setup I'm using for my lap and the one you can download in the game is all wheel drive. Gone with this because it's just a little bit easier to get used to. The rear wheel drive, when you can smash into corners, that little bit faster, but the all wheel drive is just more dependent and you can get the power on earlier and it's less prone to oversteer, although I have made the setup a little bit more nimble at the front. Now if you upgrade this to the max, you can have 1,439 horsepower, 1,439 newton meters of torque, and it weighs under a ton. My setup is 970 kilograms, but I've seen ones less than that if you don't put the roll cage in. That's up to you, although I would suggest you try with and without and see how you get on. Now this is the Lariat version of the standard McLaren F1, which you sit in the middle of, just like the new McLaren, the Speedtail, which is coming soon. Sadly, they were making 106 of them and they've all been sold, but the Speedtail is going to be much faster. It's going to be a GT car on steroids. Having driven the McLaren Senna in real life and the 600 LT, both of those are on my channel, hopefully McLaren will invite me to drive the Speedtail, but if they don't, I'll probably cry quietly for about an hour, maybe 2. Anyway guys, this lap is imperfect, so please don't say, "You didn't drive very well," because I can see that. The point is though, is that the lap is 7 minutes 34 and my driving isn't fantastic. It was more about getting the setup up and giving people a basis to work from and just see how you can make a car go pretty fast around Goliath. Of course there'll be people out there who've got more experience than me who will want to adjust the setup and make it better. Hell, you can even critique in the comments and say, "Ben, why don't you try this? This is rubbish." And that's fine. But anyway, as I was saying, this car can do 7 minutes 34, so with a skilled driver, as in not me, it should be an absolute weapon. How close you can get it to 7 minutes, I'm not sure. But it is a very fast car, it's satisfying to drive, and it looks amazing because roof scoops are just cool, always. The problem is that it just seems to be that much slower than the MC12 FE, and other people have posted videos that pretty much suggest the same thing. Of course now there are 2 new cars that are meant to be completely overpowered, the 720S, another McLaren, and the Porsche 911 GT 3 RS, both in their pre-order versions. Apparently those cars are getting sub 7 minute Goliath laps, which is insane. Anyway, I'll leave you with the rest of the lap. Hopefully you enjoy, hopefully you find it useful, and of course you can manually input the tuning stuff yourself, or you can use my tune, Gamertag The Gr1ffy with a 1, and the name will be in the description. Thanks for watching guys, all the best, bye.